Hi guys, welcome to this live. So what I want to talk about today is AI, and I want to talk about how now lots of systems are employing AI checkers to make sure that the content isn't written 100% by AI, and it brings up some important notes. And if you remember, quite a long time ago, me and Kevin did a live on what we thought might happen with AI, with penalising people on things like search engines. Now, of course, it's a changing world of AI and how it's integrated, but reading up a bit more, we're always learning at this stage because it's not a new technology, but it's never been used as much, let's put it that way. And things are progressing at a massive rate of knots with this kind of technology. So it is important to understand that one of the key points that Kevin pointed out was genuine copy, to make sure that it is your own. Because if it is your own and you've written it all, then it's 100% human, okay? But if you're working in a structured way and you're producing copy similar to AI, even though you might not realize it in your handwriting, it could still be picked up as AI, even though it's not. So if you look at some of the Google resources, it actually says about how Google is not going to penalize you for AI use, but it needs to be accurate and it needs to be of value. And obviously this makes sense because lots of people are using AI to help them in the business. But what Google don't want is people that haven't got any experience of a subject, that are just churning stuff out and it's then just pulled in. So Google have been doing this for years anyway, even with written content of it's not very good, it's spammy, and they penalize you for it. So it happens anyway, and what Google have said is this is just part of the process, but they're not against using AI. And you can even see this in the search engine where they're doing content driven from AI to give you some of the search results, because they are actually using it themselves. So that's a good indication that they're not going to penalize you for actually using AI in your copy. However, you need to be aware that if you're doing any kind of copy, it should be accurate, and it should be because of the data sets that are being used by AI, which are older, not current. I'll give you an example. The live features that we've got inside Zenler don't come up in the AI when you put it in there because they're newer features, you see, so the data set isn't correct. So you need to be looking through this stuff. You need to be an expert of what you're doing, and if you're an expert of what you're doing, you should know everything that's current and coming out in the first instance. So that drew me on to a subject, is like, how can we get AI to produce 100% human copy inside, well, looks like human copy inside of an AI system? And you can. And I just ran some tests and I thought I'd do this video at the same time. But what I want to draw massive attention to here is that you should, I just think that you should be writing it yourself, and you should be using AI to guide you. So if you're stuck on an area, you can get it to produce a list or a short paragraph, which you can then use that as a basis to write off of, and thus speeding your workflow. So it's still a time-consuming business writing blogs or content of any kind, but you're speeding yourself up. And I can't remember who said this, but someone, it might have been Mammy, it might have been Kevin or Rakesh, that it's an assistant, it's kind of an assistant role, and it shouldn't be the star of the show. That's you, and your particular writing style should come through. Now, I ran an SEO blog workshop, and if you look at the blogs on our blog, which is newzenler.com/blog, go to the guest blogs, and you'll find in there that really nice content in there written. You can see that it's written by a person and not by AI. Okay, so a lot of this is going to be that way, and I think videos and being live and talking in front of an audience is going to be always going to be the key, because you can't fake it. You are there. you are talking about that subject, and people will be more skeptical, I believe, in written content, realizing that it could be AI generated. Whereas if they see you come up and talking about it, then it gives them more faith and confidence going forwards. And I think this will be key in the future. So if you're not very good on camera, get a confidence coach, you know, like Kirsty van der Balk. We've got Howard Whiteson on our system, coaches that can teach you to be better on camera and to plan things out to be better. Okay, so let's have a look. I wrote this. So what I did was I put a prompt in here. Guys, if you want me to put the prompt in the chat, just give me a prompt. Okay, hashtag. So write a 500 word post about this subject. Zenler, the all-in-one course platform, and how it can help you. These are the features of Zenler: marketing funnels, communities, built-in live types, create courses and memberships, build email lists and blogs. That's what I put in. This is what it churned out very quickly, as usual. You'll notice with AI, it always breaks it up into these headings like this. I would say come in here and change these a little bit. This is not worked towards SEO, although it's that key phrase in there of this all-in-one course platform, which is a key prompter for us at Zenler to get in there on rankings. So you're going to see that it builds it all out like this, and if you read this, you know, this is, again, you can get it to produce it out, and then you can look at it and you can rewrite it. That would be 100%, but it give you a guide to work through, it give you a structure. No bullet lists in here. I always like bullet lists in if I'm doing it for a blog. Okay, and you'll notice that AI always ends with this conclusion. Okay, this is a key. So anyway, I copied this text, okay, and I then went to Quill, so quillbot.com/AI-content-detector, or just go to quillbot.com and put AI detector, paste it in there, and you can verify it, and you can see how much it will then check if it's AI content. So it's looked at this and it said that 92% is AI written and human written is 8%, which is not bad actually, because it's all AI, as I just proved. Although I did do a detailed description, you know, and that's what it was using. So maybe that's why it's coming as at 8%. If I'd have put something like generate a blog on Zenler, it might have come in at 100% AI. Okay, so there's always this room for changing, and this is the basis of what I'm talking about today. So this has given us 92. So I was like, okay, we can do better than that. We can try and push this number to more human, even though it's all done in AI. So let's go and check out my next prompt. So what I did was I said, write a 500 word post again, make it less AI and more human. So again, it worked its magic and it worked through this, and there are differences inside here. You're going to notice it's got blogs in here, it's got communities down here, it's got building communities, live sessions. It's slightly different, text is considerably different, and then it comes to the famous conclusions. Always when it comes up with conclusion, change it, right? Just change it to summary or conclusion of this post or something different to that, because this is something that comes up all the time. And when you more and more use AI, you'll see these little things come up, and they are markers for what it's generating with other people's copy, and that is giving you a high AI rate. Okay, so let's have a look at this. I copied this part of it and then I went in and checked on Quillbot. So this is the result now. So it's dropped us, it says handwritten 25%. So it's done a job, it's made it more human and less AI, but it's still high at 75%. So jump back into ChatGPT, and this time I said make it less structured and more college level reading. So this is telling it to just simplify it down a little bit, to take away a little bit more of the structure of how AI creates the content. So it kind of is so strange, because you're actually reversing the perfect to make it more muddy. Now I can give you an example of this, right? This is a classic example. When 3D animation came out, when it first came out, the biggest problem that people had was it was too perfect. Okay, it was too sharp, it was too accurate, it was too perfect in the light and things like this. And the thing about life is it's not perfect. Like, nobody's exactly symmetry and all of these things, you know. So what they started to do with 3D is they started to dirty down the images. They started to maybe using a little bit more effects like motion blur. Okay, I mean, of course, some people came along, and there's certain phases they go through. If you remember the Star Trek Into Darkness, where they were using so many, it became a kind of funny thing. They were using so many lens flares, it was unbelievable. So lens flares kind of went out. There was lens flares everywhere. Okay, but the actual point of this is they were trying to dirty down, they were trying to muddy it a bit more, because then it actually looks more real. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to do with this. I'm trying to muddy it down to a level where it looks more human, but still has all that content in there. So I said make it less structured and more college level reading. So again, came down here and we copied this and I took it into Quillbot, and would you believe it, it's showing me 100% hand human written, and it's not showing that it's been generated from AI. So you can do it, but you have to work through maybe a series of prompts and keep checking it back and forwards. But this is a big one. Once you've got it at that level, what I would say to you is then go into ChatGPT, take this copy, use it as a base, and then change it, make it your own, give it your own voice. Use it for that structure, use it for that inspiration, check it, you'll look at it and you'll go, it's missed that bit out, I need to put that bit in, this is slightly wrong, it's not right, I need to change this. Make sure you go over it and change it. But I'm sure you agree, it took me probably less than 3 minutes to go through this and do this for you, and you can see the result. So I wanted to make that clear. I think it's good to have this kind of information for you guys to know, especially if you're churning out AI content and just whacking it in your pages and you're not doing any base checks. Remember what we say here at Zenler is test, test, test. And this goes through everything that you're doing, including any of the copy. You know, this includes testing sales page, like how someone views it, how someone else views it, and the same thing applies with the copy, and even more important nowadays with the advent of AI. Guys, I hope you like this post and get something out of it, and just remember these points, that if you're using AI, you might well be penalized by the search engines if you're using it to a massive extent and it's showing like over 50. I'd say if it's showing 30, 25, 30, you're in the safe area. If you start hitting over that mark with AI checkers such as Quillbot, and there's a lot of them around, then you're going to probably fall into that blacklist penalized area. Okay, so be really careful with it going forwards. Use it as a tool, it's going to speed up your workflow. I hope you've enjoyed this workshop by us at Zenler. Take care guys, bye.